Welcome to episode 35 of the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is not Dante.
Your name is John.
It's John.
My name isn't John. My
It's
name
Dante.
is Dante.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Big 3-5. We are here. Huge week in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Again, off top, we are recording this on Wednesday, so no Dynamite, unfortunately. But I appreciate the whole team being able to record early. There's some stuff going on this weekend, but that's neither here nor there. Dante, how are we? Had a weird day today.
Very weird day.
Film quizzes first.
Usually we start with the podcast. We wake up, shake the cobwebs off, talking some wrestling, and then we jump into the quizzes when we're all, we're awake, we're ready to use our brains.
You might be able to tell in the quizzes that's the first thing we did this morning.
Yeah. We have a few quizzes coming out this week that you're gonna see might not be our best performance. Maybe they are. Maybe they are our best performances. Maybe they're not. Maybe both. Maybe you get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very tough starting quizzes at 9:30 a.m., especially when I woke up this morning not wanting to go anywhere, leave my bed. So, but yeah, other than that, I feel I'm good. Had a good week. The weather, it's warm in here.
It's hot.
The weather is nice outside.
Let's get a quick temp check, huh?
It's gotta be mid-80s or something.
We're sitting at 87.
87.
What's the feels like? Feels like 90.
Yeah, it's a hot one.
We got the lights on. But we're doing this for you.
We're doing this for you guys because we love you so much. But yeah, no, nothing crazy. Had a solid week. Hung out with my girlfriend. Did some stuff. Yeah, nothing.
You don't gotta try to make up.
I don't think there's any like big story or anything like that.
Yeah,
just a chill week.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of just want to dive right in.
Let's talk about. I
just want to dive right in.
I think what we're about to talk about now is going to be the most important thing on this podcast.
The trial of the tribal chief on SmackDown. Holy shit, over 1/4 of the show lasting, I believe, over like 40 minutes or whatever it was.
And they closed the show, too.
Closed the show with it. It definitely, reports say it went long. Mm-hmm. The rest of the show definitely, I don't want to say suffered from it, but a lot of the show felt like the timing was quick and, you could tell.
Everything was quickly put together, rushed,
but
maybe.
It's the most important thing they have on the show. It's the most important thing in WWE and wrestling right now. So it's like if other things are gonna suffer to tell this story,
it's like when it was Raw is 30 and they did the tribal court with Sami Zayn and they had to cut the Bayley Becky match because of it. I mean, you'll make up for it next week. This was more important.
We'll go through some things. I have notes. We'll kind of break them down. First of all, gaslighting and manipulative Roman is in full effect here. They start out with a video package of Roman being abusive and manipulative and gaslighting of the Usos throughout the past, whatever it is, 2 or 3 years of just crazy shit. They really dug in, did like there's like some old backstage segments that were in the packages. I didn't even remember. That was like, that's from like the beginning.
Oh, they got receipts.
They did bring receipts. After that, Roman is offended. He says he did all this abuse for the Usos, for Solo, for the family. He never even needed the Bloodline in the first place.
Said he was main eventing WrestleManias before them. Yep.
Doesn't need them. He made the Bloodline for them so much to the extent that he doesn't even want or need to be the tribal chief. He says, I don't want this. I don't need this. Umbrella service sounds pretty good right now. He's done.
He's done.
He's over
Doesn't need it anymore.
And he kind of makes references through it of like, you're not the tribal chief yet towards Jey, and you want this, you want
He's like,
this.
definitely not you, points at Jimmy.
Right. So, takes the lei and puts it on Jey. Roman throws the title to the side. I believe I was like typing this up and I was like, what the fuck is this title called? The Undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
And Paul has the WWE Championship and the Universal
Oh my fucking God. Puts the lei on Jey, throws the title to the side, kneels before Jey, and he starts fucking crying.
Dude,
real tears.
Dude, it's
unreal.
Whenever that day comes, this guy is going to be a Hollywood star.
Hollywood's going to love him.
He's going to Hollywood. There is no doubt. It reminded me, the similar thing happened when it was the Hell in a Cell match, him versus Jey. Mm-hmm. Jimmy comes out, like, he's like, what are you doing? This is your family, whatever. And then Roman gets down, bawling his eyes out. To do that on command like that,
Crazy.
and to be able to just also, like, you can look at someone and be like, oh, he's fake. You can you can tell.
Yeah.
Bro, it didn't even seem like it was forced. It seemed like it was just a natural, genuine sadness.
It's like
it was beautiful.
We talked about. I don't want to start talking about that Roman Reigns video again that I talked about last night. Did you watch it?
So, admittedly, I have 20 minutes left. I've tried the last 2 nights. I've watched it. It's really
nuts,
good.
dude?
I tried watching it the last 2 nights, and I catch myself falling asleep because it's late.
Sure,
so I the first night I fell asleep while it was still going. So yes, I had to go back a little bit and find where I forgot. I have 20 minutes left, but so far it's
unreal,
crazy
dude.
good.
But just thinking about that old Roman, pre-pandemic Roman, he would never be able to pull off
God, no.
this level of acting and on-screen presentation, just
commitment to character,
real.
Yeah.
And then Roman low blows Jey,
just like Jey low blowed him.
Yep. But also they, Roman. It's a story of low blows.
Oh, it is.
It's definitely better than AJ and Nakamura's story of low blows.
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely.
Jimmy attacks Roman. I'll get through kind of what happened, and we can kind of touch upon it. So, boom, low blow. Jimmy attacks Roman, and Solo, after some time of watching, Solo saves Roman, and then everyone's down. Solo is standing tall in the ring and looks at the lay on the ground.
Yep.
Has eyes toward the title, picks up the lay, and then Jey Uso retaliates, kind of interrupts the whole, everything. Kind of stops it in its tracks. Yep. Roman and Solo take out Jimmy while Jey is stuck in the ropes, and Solo hits a splash on Jimmy through the announce table, sending Jimmy to the hospital in an ambulance. Jey joins him. But, there's so much. I know we just kind of, that's the breezing through the highlights, but this was 40 minutes of just cinema.
Crazy, dude.
And just, the beatdown of Jimmy, making Jey watch, everyone getting in their spots and retaliations, and just unfucking real. And then we'll get to it, but plays into later in the night with Jimmy being taken out and whatever. But wow, this might be a top 3 Bloodline segment.
This is genuine cinema. It literally feels like you're watching a movie out there, and it's just crazy because we've never, at least in our lifetime, from us watching wrestling, have never experienced a story this in depth, this well orchestrated, weekly. Again, I understand Roman hasn't defended the belt since Mania. He hasn't wrestled. He's only been in tag team. I get that, but he's gotten to a point where he doesn't have to be on the show to be relevant. And whenever he's on the show, I keep seeing all these tweets, each segment breaking records for the amount of people watching.
Oh yeah,
attendance. It was the first SmackDown, the highest rated or highest viewed SmackDown. Excuse me, since the pandemic, 2020. Yeah, over 3 million people watched that.
Sold out Madison Square Garden.
Dude, when they were in London, broke the record for just overall a venue show. It was in Madison Square Garden. That's US. Now it's you're breaking records for viewership and stuff. It just
SmackDown is very much the
and
A
it's not
show.
And it's not close.
And
it's not
genuinely, because we're gonna talk about Raw and everything, but it's Raw is fine, but SmackDown just
and I'm telling
got it, dude.
And it's we've talked about this before. It goes back to just SmackDown's 2 hours, so you're able to fit in all the good stuff in the 2 hours. And Raw, you have that extra hour. It's kind of you're just throwing things in there.
I guess they have Fox breathing down their neck, so they want to keep the people happy.
Yeah, I guess, but people I didn't even see anyone it was such a long segment on SmackDown, but it doesn't even matter because it's so
it did
good.
not.
You know what I mean?
Like,
it's not I saw people this went on for too long. People saying these guys didn't get their opportunities. It's so good that people don't even care that it takes up half the show. That's crazy.
It did not feel like 2 episodes of My Name Is Earl long.
Oh, wow.
I've been on a kick,
Yeah?
brother. Yeah.
I haven't seen that show since I was like
good.
9 or 10.
Worth it. So good. Anyway.
That's what we're putting at the end of the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My Name Is Earl.
My Name Is Earl.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, just unreal. Obviously, it sucks that some of the other segments had to suffer, like the women's division segment suffered. And,
like I said, they'll make up.
Exactly.
Make up for it.
This was unreal.
Did you know? So when Jimmy got attacked and we went through the table and stuff, I saw it on TikTok. It was like poor Jimmy because the way he was lying, one of the lights from underneath the table, like the LED lights, was like directly in. So he was like lying. It's like in his face, and they just kept showing the camera angle of his face just lit up and stuff. They're like, this guy just has to lie there and take it. But I think besides obviously the low blow, the tears, like all that stuff, the acting. The best part of this for me was just everything was Solo.
Yeah, underrated part of this.
Like we've talked about this the last few weeks. Like they are setting this kid up to be a big star.
I personally right now don't want to see him to be the one to like I'm really sold on Jey. I guess second pick would be. I mean, taking Cody out of the conversation would be Solo to make the most sense. But it's like I don't think he's
not there yet.
He's ready, but he's not there yet. But like you were kind of saying, this is like all of this is setting him up beautifully for a long and dominant future in the WWE.
And just the fact that, you know, when he stepped in and he's been in the spotlight ever since he debuted, and he's been involved in such these big moments and hasn't dropped the ball.
His career has been on like speed. What am I trying to say? 6th gear.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, how long was he in NXT?
Not too long, because he was a part of NXT 2.0, and that's fairly new, and he wasn't there. Yeah, he wasn't there that long. Yeah, I mean they strapped the rocket to him. I mean he's killed it. That's the thing. It's not like a failed push where you're pushing someone he hasn't, you know, doesn't look well in the ring, doesn't like his presentation isn't good. Like they've made him look like a star already.
I even liked him coming out separate from Roman. And then like at the beginning they had a little bit of a stare down. Yeah. And then when Roman's fucking music hits, like his music is perfect.
It's a god mode, bro. It has this aura around him, dude.
It's so good.
It's insane. But I'm very excited for the day that Paul Heyman and Solo go on their own and do their own thing. Because that's why I think should happen.
Paul should stay with Solo. I think
whenever that does happen, but man, they're really setting him up. Like the way he was holding the lay, looking at Roman, and then there's cracks, bro. It's right there. It's when is it gonna happen? I don't know, but there's cracks.
Unreal. I mean, just to I don't have much else to say of that segment. Just it was
sick.
Fucking great.
It was sick.
I think top 3. I think I like the Sammy trial a little more.
I did as well.
They were just more.
I think it was just more like they had. I think it was just like a better setup. Like they had the table. Yeah. Everyone was sitting down. It was a little bit more trial-y. Like
I think my favorite. I saw on Twitter the other day. I think still my favorite Bloodline moment. I freaked out when it happened. Was Sammy and Jey are arguing or whatever. I mean, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief think. And just Roman looking up and just like everything up. They couldn't like the camera, the zoom in, the camera cut, like, and Roman's timing. Like that was they couldn't have planned that more perfect.
Dude, the compilation video of the best Bloodline moments when it's all said and done is going to be like 5 hours long. They've already put stuff out for it and all that, but...
Well, imagine, because there are rumors, and it's just a rumor, that it's ending at SummerSlam.
I can see like the actual Bloodline for faction being...
Or like the story.
I mean, that would... Yeah, I mean, at that point, if Roman beats Jey... or Jey beats Roman, that kind of closes the door on.
What else? I guess, and then you bring Cody back in, and at that point, that's not even Bloodline stuff. Right. That's just, you know?
Because once Cody's done with Brock at SummerSlam, he says he's got some business to take care of. Yeah, I definitely could. I mean, I wonder when they're going to do Roman Solo. I wonder if they're going to have that happen before WrestleMania or afterwards. When Roman's I think they should do it though. It would make sense because maybe they could do. So Cody beats Roman at, let's just say Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania. Then you kind of have the Roman like
I'd be down post
downward spiral. So it's like Solo wins then because if they fought before WrestleMania after Jey, he beats Jey, Solo's not winning. At that point, I think if anyone's going to beat Roman besides Cody, it's Jey.
Yeah.
So if Jey doesn't win at SummerSlam, then I think it's a given that he's going to hold on to the belt till Mania.
I think we'll circle back to this because there's a lot to talk about at the ending.
Yep.
But I have a question for you at the ending,
Okay.
which I think is going to be. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, but we're already on SmackDown. I guess let's just breeze through. I was thinking, peek behind the curtain. Let us know what you guys think. This podcast obviously comes out on Thursdays, so if we start talking about SmackDown, SmackDown's on the next day, so it's like, let us know what order you prefer, or if you don't give a shit. But I was kind of thinking maybe we jump to Raw because then it's a little more relevant. But like if we're on the SmackDown train, I'm kind of let's just breeze through SmackDown.
We're here.
U.S. title match, Theory defeats Sheamus. Brawling Brutes and Pretty Deadly got involved. Probably going to be a blow-off at SummerSlam. My whole thing is not rumors, but there's... People are annoying. Where everyone's saying LA Knight. They're going to give LA Knight the U.S. Championship. And that's like... That was everyone's justification, which everyone was quick to justify themselves. LA Knight lost. And... LA Knight lost Money in the Bank, and it was instantly, oh, it's fine. This was the right decision. They're going to give him the U.S. title anyway. First of all, what are you talking about? Second of all, like, maybe you're right. I'm sure you're right.
Yeah.
He is on SmackDown. LA Knight wasn't on TV. He had a dark
He had a before
thing.
I saw that, which was the highest viewed
I
YouTube
saw
video.
that, yeah. But, yes, I think LA Knight should get the U.S. title match, but it doesn't look like they're setting it up for SummerSlam.
Right.
Maybe it's a WrestleMania thing if they're even going to do it, but I don't know. Everyone likes thinking of something and being like, this is fact.
Yeah. Yeah, we know this is going to happen a month from now. I have been in the past, more than you, Austin Theory defender.
Yeah, apologist even.
But his reign has gotten very stale. It's gotten very boring.
Yeah.
I don't want to blame him for it. I just think after this, I think before his match with John Cena, he had a solid title run. He was beating Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, beat Edge, had the Elimination Chamber. Like, he had good matches. I think it was a solid reign. But ever since the John Cena match, he just hasn't. Like, if you ask me what has he done the last 3 months, I honestly can't. Because the night after, it seemed like they were going to start doing like a legend killer type of thing. Like Rey Mysterio.
I was signed up for it.
Okay,
yeah, I was down for
young
it.
guy going after legends. That scrapped that. He's been on SmackDown. I mean, he's feuding with Sheamus. He's had back-to-back matches with him. He's pretty deadly. So I mean, that it's something. But just the title reign has been super boring, and they need to change it up. They definitely need to change it up. It would be nice if LA Knight was thrown in here and he had the match, but I feel like
I hope Sheamus wins for what it's worth.
We're a few weeks away from SummerSlam, so it's like we gotta start building it up. And if they're already doing this, then I mean, Sheamus would be cool too. I'd be fine with Sheamus. I still like Theory, like I like the idea of him, but he needs to do something.
Here's my little Austin theory. I think they found someone better. I think they found someone that does Austin Theory a lot better than Austin Theory does.
And you're going to say
and that person is Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Edge was on the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson kept on trying to bait Edge into announcing his retirement. Edge was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sets up a match for the main event, and Edge says it's time to sink or swim. This was solid.
Yeah.
It showcased a lot of Grayson Waller's personality more. I mean, he's getting the fucking rub.
He is.
Segment
really
with Cena,
is.
match with Edge.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I mean. I mean, I compared Grayson Waller to Austin Theory before, and people were like, "No, they're totally different people." Which, like,
they are,
but how much different?
In the way where they're super young guys, like they're just trying to be like cocky little heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you boil it down, you know what I mean. But I think Grayson Waller, I'm more sold on Grayson Waller. Just his match with Edge, which we'll talk about. I don't know. I'm personally more high on Grayson Waller. I don't know. I don't want to say they're giving up on Austin. Maybe it's a little harsh of me to say they found a better one, but
no, it definitely seems like he's lost some momentum. For sure.
I don't know.
For sure.
Speaking of a feud that's lost momentum, AJ Styles defeats Karrion Kross in something I barely even want to talk about. Match lasts a couple minutes. Sure, you can blame it on bloodline timing, whatever, but it hasn't been good in the past 3 weeks. It's not good now. AJ deserves better. Even
both. I think
they both deserve better, obviously, but
it's just there needs to be something here. Like Karrion Kross,
they need to just kill it. They need to kill it.
NXT champion, like he should be presented so much different than he is. And AJ Styles is still one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he's caught up in these storylines.
And the fact that like.
Why are we wasting AJ's time?
I was going to say,
much time
I don't want to say he's on borrowed time.
No.
That's not the case, but I feel like he does have a timer to when he's getting older. If he wants to retire, like going out on top, you know, like AJ will probably retire within the next.
I'd say within
2 to
3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, let's play a game.
Fun.
How old is? I think I want to say 46.
I feel like we looked this up last week. I'm going to say 43.
Okay.
46.
Wow, on the dot.
So
yeah, I mean, he still has a few good years left in him for sure. But he's said in interviews that like this contract is his last. It's like the clock's ticking. We're most in the 11th hour now. Probably
and they have him.
You have him. Use him. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like you have all these talented, and not say Karrion Kross isn't talented, but he's just at a point right now where no one's interested in him. So you're throwing AJ with this guy. No one cares about AJ because you're. Put him with someone good, man. I don't know.
And again, it does kind of suffer. Again, we're all sold and all in on the Bloodline stuff. And I'm not saying which way or the other if Roman should have the titles or not right now. But a lot of people on SmackDown just suffer from their not being a world title. We haven't seen Bobby Lashley
in God knows. We haven't seen him since the tournament, I think.
Where's Bobby? I mean, they have like Theory's got the Austin Theory's got the Austin Theory title.
Bray Wyatt's hanging around somewhere. He might come back eventually. I don't know.
Well, there's a
There's rumor. There's always rumors.
There's which I don't know.
They're adding Uncle Howdy to 2K.
Oh, are they?
That's like a DLC, and people like the highly anticipated return. And everyone's like, oh, that's the hint. He's coming back. But
I've seen rumors and speculation that the Bloodline story or something to do with Roman or something that the Fiend is gonna have something to do.
Oh, well, I mean. If you think about it, the Fiend was there from the very beginning because the Fiend won the Universal Championship initially, and then Roman came back and he didn't pin the Fiend, but afterwards, and this is we're really digging deep here, when Alexa was starting to go crazy with Bray Wyatt, when Roman's walking down the ramp, she's walking up and she like turns and looks at him. Obviously that was 3 years ago, and you can say long-term storytelling.
It's too much of a stretch.
It's too much of a stretch. But they still, if they wanted to, there is something there. They could revisit it.
And
would I be fine with it? If they do it correctly, I think I'd be fine with it.
I would rather the Bloodline stuff wrap up and then do something.
So what I was going to say, I think it would be cool if they saved it for like after WrestleMania when he loses. Yeah. Maybe that can be like he faces the Fiend and the Fiend fucks with him. And then that's when everything kind of spirals.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I think we've both gone on record of like.
Booking now, though.
Yeah, wicked. We've gone on record of being fans of the concept of the Fiend and down for it to come back. But like, imagine them. Imagine them ruining this 3-year story
with puppets,
and the Fiend is the one to like end the Bloodline, or you know what I mean? Like that would be crazy.
Yeah, no, it would. At this point, the storyline's so protected that if they like said like, "Hey Roman, we're thinking about having the Fiend do this," he'd be like, "No, 0% chance." Yeah, it's fantasy booking. It's I definitely think they could do something down the line, Roman and the Fiend, if obviously the Fiend does come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, let this stuff wrap up first.
Quick thing, again, quick because of time constraints. Asuka comes out. She's interrupted by Bianca, Charlotte, Io, and Bayley, and they all brawl and blah blah blah. Io finds herself a little opportunity to cash in. Teases the cash in, gives it to Bayley to cash in. Bianca sweeps the legs from Bayley, interrupts the cash in. No cash in, but I love this tease. Love the tease.
Oh, yeah.
Io cashing in on Asuka. I hope this is what we get. I mean, we talk about, I'm with you on I want Asuka to have a good and long reign.
Right. But
SummerSlam's coming up.
They're definitely going to do a triple threat at SummerSlam. Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka, I think, for the women's belt. That's what it seems like they're doing. And then
Yeah, maybe they tease an Asuka.
I would
or Io.
I would like Bayley to be thrown in the mix, kind of. Maybe like a fatal 4-way, and then Bayley wins, and then Io cashes it on Bayley.
Yeah, but I want Io and
Bayley
Asuka.
doesn't. No, I know Bayley doesn't need to be thrown in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, regardless, they're definitely gonna have that feud. That's gonna whether it's she pins Asuka for the belt or not, they gotta have that feud while Io's the champ. That's for sure.
Damn, they have it's a good problem.
They got a lot of options.
They have so much stuff cooking with this, the Bloodline, even Judgment Day stuff, but like, and obviously, as we've seen at like the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and we'll see at Summer, like WrestleMania isn't the end-all be-all, but it is nice to have these big wrap-up moments at WrestleMania, which is, we've always been talking about like getting the Bloodline story to WrestleMania, which is like, which is why when I saw the report, it's a little shocking of like, oh shit, could the Bloodline story end at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
But SummerSlam is a big show.
It's going to be an arena filled with 40, 50,000 people. I get it. WrestleMania, I think, has always been like, it has that aura around it where it's like, those are the blow-off matches, the biggest matches. But like in history, like we've seen some of the bigger matches, like when they did Roman Reigns, John Cena the first time, that was at a No Mercy pay-per-view. Right. But they did it because Cena was going to Hollywood. Like they had to do it. We've had big matches at events like SummerSlam. I think as long as it's like a big 4 pay-per-view, they kind of treat it as like, that's like the grandest stage of them all. It's not just Mania. It can be any of those 4.
I think. I mean, we're still a little ways away. I think if they build up, they could build up this SummerSlam to be like just as big as Mania.
It could be an all-timer for sure. I mean, all right. So let's think. You have Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth, Finn. They might do a rematch of. It seems like. That triple threat, that women's triple threat match, we'll say...
Probably, Theory, Sheamus.
It's a match. It'll happen. It's a match. Gunther
will have
Drew
something.
McIntyre.
Oh, Drew and Gunther, right? Yeah.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens will have a match. Try to think of other matches thrown in the mix.
Yeah, they teased like Cody and Brock is already. Cody and Brock. Yep. It's like big show. I mean, that's the card right there.
Becky and Trish, maybe they might have that match.
That's big.
I'm sure Rhea Ripley might fight someone.
Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders.
Of course. Yes. How could I forget? So they can have a really good card. They have a really good card, yeah.
Is there anything... I think the only thing that... Well, it's not even like announced.
I don't know if they've officially announced matches yet.
The closest one is Brock Cody. Yeah, there's no matches.
Yeah, there's no matches. Ricochet, Logan Paul. Another one.
Yeah,
which is exciting. That's an exciting one, yeah.
Anyways... Edge defeats Grayson Waller in a solid match. Grayson Waller's SmackDown debut, I believe his main roster debut in general. Yep. Edge looked great.
He did.
Haven't seen Edge in a while. The green tights looked fucking sick. I said this. People kind of disagree. I hate Grayson Waller's attire. Hate it. Can't stand it.
I saw your tweet about it. I disagree because
he's like a basketball player kind of.
It's supposed to be like the boxing, like that's like the boxer look kind of.
He does like basketball moves.
He does. Yeah, no, I get it. It's a little, yeah, I guess so. It's a little bit of both. I like it because it's different and it's a little bit unique.
I guess I just think it's ugly. I don't think it looks that.
I don't think it's the best looking thing in the world. But I don't know. I can't imagine him wearing anything else. That's all I've seen him wear.
Just put him in tights. Yeah. Put him in tights and he looks like Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it's a good way to help him stand out for now, but like maybe as he gets more acclimated, he changes it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing. But anyway, solid match at the end of the match.
That was a good match.
Edge gives him his props at the end. He says, "Hey Waller, you swam."
Yep.
Which, like, again, this kid's getting the fucking rub.
Cena and Edge, those are as good as it gets. As good as it gets.
So, and my thing is, I tweeted this too, but hey, if anyone who has an Edge cosign, verbal Edge cosign, especially after a match that has like a, hey, like you're something. I'm all in on Grayson Waller.
You're good in my books.
So this is where we want to return to Jey Uso. Returns to challenge Roman. Roman's in the ring, basically waiting for him. Jey Uso enters through the barricade, takes out Solo. Jey grabs a chair and hits Roman with it. Roman kind of escapes. And then Jey just lays
in
fucking into Solo.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was thinking, I was like, I feel like that's one of Solo's first like welcome to WWE moments where I feel like you got to get like beaten down like with a chair or something like that, just getting absolute.
Yeah.
I don't remember like something like that happening to him. I felt like it was a good like welcome to the big leagues kid. You know what I mean?
How old is Solo?
He's got to be.
This is gonna depress. He's got to be like 23 or 20. Not 20. I bet you he's 25.
He's married and has kids.
I'm
gonna say 29.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna say 29.
30. What?
Just turned 30. Young.
That's shocking.
Young.
He's young.
Yeah, not as young as you thought, but
wow,
he's got some good years in him.
Oh yeah, interesting. All right. Anyway, so after that, the beatdown, blah blah. Jey Uso is standing tall. He picks up the undisputed WWE Universal Championship that Roman dropped and ran away.
Put it down.
Yeah, he's freaking out. This is what Jey says. He says, "You took Jimmy from me, blah, blah, all this." He said, "Tribal Court, you're looking at the judge, jury, and executioner right now. Now I gotta get you."
Yep.
This is trial by combat now. Throws down the challenge, accept my challenge.
So I can beat your ass one more time.
Yes. Anyone... There's a couple.
Oh.
There's two big things. I think I was going to take up a little bit of time, similar to how the Tribal Court took up time on SmackDown.
Let's do it.
First thing before we get to like SummerSlam or whatever, there are still people, a lot of people, saying that Jey's not the guy. That Jey is not a main eventer. He's not world championship material. What?
Listen to the crowd, bro. Listen to the fucking reaction.
Look at how he looked holding the title.
He looked good holding the title.
And like, here's my thing. I think people are just saying that because they haven't seen Jey Uso as world champion, so it's pretty easy to not be able to imagine him as world champion.
They don't think of him as a solo wrestler.
So of course you're not. But it's like, you can say that. I think it's just because he's in this spotlight. But any former wrestler who's never touched world championship, whatever, it's easy to be like, no, he's not world champion. He's until it happens, and then it's like, oh shit, he's world champ. You know what I mean? Like it's. I think it's just people are just saying it because it's just like, I don't know. I don't really know why people are.
I feel like the people that are saying
it's a TV show. They're gonna make him world champion, and he's great, and he's fucking. I don't know. I don't get it.
I feel like a lot of the people that are saying Jey isn't championship material, the people that want Cody to win.
I guess so, but I don't even think it extends to Cody. I think it's just a general. We don't see Jey as that.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I don't know if they've been watching this story the last 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just the natural buildup. It's 3 years of, again, the storyline started with Jey Uso versus Roman, and those were his two introductory matches to the Bloodline, to being involved in the main event, and since then, he has done more than enough.
And he's also supposed to look like a moderately underdog in this match, too.
And he certainly does, but he also has that... He has that look where he can be a world champion. And I think they've built him up enough where it's believable. I
think so, too.
It's not like if he beats Roman... Because he pinned him already. So it's not like at this point it's like he can't be the one to beat Roman. One, he already did. And two, it's like, wouldn't you think if anyone can beat Roman, it's his own family? Right? Wouldn't that make more sense logically than some other guy coming in that has never won a world championship? The match against Roman Reigns was Cody Rhodes' first world championship match in WWE. So it's like kind of the same thing. It's like Cody's never won a world championship. What makes you think he's world championship material?
I think, you look back in time, sure, people were behind, and people are behind Jey, but I'm sure just as much as there's people who are like, Jey's not world champion, or Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan.
I was going to say, there's other people in the past that have won the championship that probably at the time you didn't think was championship material and like credible enough, but it works. It can work. So
that was just my whole thing is I don't understand. It is, especially to this point, it is shocking to me that people are like, I don't see Jey as a credible world champion. It's like, what are you talking about?
And I'm going to go back and I'll say, do I think Jey's going to win? No. I don't think he's going to win.
At SummerSlam. So this is the follow-up. He fucking has to. He has to win. Because what... I just don't...
Okay,
Let me get a clean. Let me get, because of TikTok. Let me get a clean.
Go ahead.
Do you think Jey Uso will win at SummerSlam?
I don't. Just because we just talked about how WrestleMania, and I feel like a hypocrite because WrestleMania isn't the end all be all. Like, you can have these big matches and these big results at other events. I get that. But I still can't see Roman losing the belts at anywhere but WrestleMania with this reign.
That's fair. It's fair. I totally get
I have
that.
a hard time believing it. Again, if he was going to do it, if he was going to lose the belts, I think it would have been to Cody at this past Mania, and you still could have done this Bloodline stuff. You still could, it would have been a little different, but you could have. I would love it if I want to make this clear. I would love it if he won.
Sure,
like if he wins, I'd be hyped. I think that would be a great call.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time seeing it happen. As much I really wanted to, but I don't know. I'm not even just saying that because of Cody. I'm not even thinking. It's just I just don't think it's gonna end now. I don't.
See, I think I totally get what you're saying, especially like the WrestleMania thing, like him losing the titles, especially,
we're talking about the 4th, 5th longest reign of all time.
Yeah, it makes sense to end it at WrestleMania, but
40.
WrestleMania is far away.
It is,
and they have like, can they really? What else? I mean, granted, grain of salt, hindsight 2020, whatever. I feel like we've gotten to these points a couple times, especially this past WrestleMania with Cody, where it's like, I think we actually even said this, like, Cody has to win because what are they going to do?
Next?
And then, kind of foot in my mouth a little bit is the story since that WrestleMania has still been fucking incredible.
You can say it's gotten better.
Sure,
honestly,
sure.
You
That's
can
a
make
fair
an argument,
take.
yeah.
But, and maybe I'm just not looking too far in the future, but I really think I don't know. Maybe it's naive of me to just be like, what could they possibly do after? But I really think, like, they have this moment. They didn't pull the trigger with Sammy. They didn't pull the trigger with Cody.
I know.
And those were two, like, pulling the trigger with Sammy would have been an amazing moment. I get, again, hindsight 2020, I get why they didn't. They had, I don't know, fucking 6 more months or whatever of this story, whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't pull the trigger with Cody.
Yep.
That's a 50-50 one that people are going to debate for years.
Forever. Yeah.
Which kind of makes it more amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have Jey now.
I know. Third time.
And then sure, if Jey loses, maybe they do a rematch, or Jey isn't the one and they go back to Cody. I really think Roman Reigns is losing at SummerSlam. He got pinned by Jey. I think Jey has his number. And then maybe long-term booking, maybe they do a rematch at Mania where Jey enters with the titles.
I saw a tweet when it was like Roman versus Jey versus Cody versus someone else, and it's like whoever gets like the first 2 falls or something as the champ like walks out.
I'd
or
be
something
down
like
for
that.
it. Like imagine if
match.
Jey gets the titles, right? Like we're post SummerSlam.
He wins the title for Roman. Paul's like, well, we still have these two over here,
yeah.
I don't know. We're still champ.
Jey wins the title. Mm-hmm. After SummerSlam, Cody's done with Brock, and Cody enters, and he's like, "Hey,
remember
I have a lot of unfinished business. I don't care who I take it off of. I don't care about beating Roman. I just want that title."
Yeah.
But then, and this is the point where, the storytelling's how it's going to be. I don't know. But, you can easily still involve Roman because I want my titles back. Well, Cody, now you have 2 people coming after Jey, but also, how do you extend that to WrestleMania? Right. You got pay-per-views in between.
Because that's still a long ways away. Yeah.
I feel, and I'll be honest with you, I feel naive and silly and foolish for thinking that Jey Uso is going to win at SummerSlam.
I mean, this is Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Because I feel like a lot of people, more people than not, think that Roman's going to win. But man, everyone still wants Jey to win. Like, again, I think Roman's going to win, but I want Jey to win. I thought Roman was going to beat Sami, but I wanted Sami to win.
Like, what could they possibly do if Jey loses?
And I'm not in the mindset of what's next, because at this point, I think they have this storyline written out until Mania. Yeah. So like, I'm not worried about that. I don't think Roman's getting pinned 2 straight events. I just don't see it ending now. I think it's got to be a bigger moment. I still think. I don't know.
This is gonna be obviously we have a lot of time to it, but like I'm looking forward to the SummerSlam predictions.
I don't know what's gonna like the next few weeks. Shit could something could happen with Solo. Maybe
who knows?
Solo stops, like he's not with Roman anymore going into that match. Maybe at SummerSlam Solo does the same thing he did to Cody and he spikes Jey and Roman gets to win that. Like there's so many different outcomes. And that's what
Damian
I love about
Priest
it. Damian Priest has the Money in the Bank. I mean, come on. We can't forget about that.
I'll tell you now, if I was picking my SummerSlam prediction, I'd be picking Jey.
Right now.
I'd pick Jey right now.
I'd pick Roman right now. But
and
we still have weeks.
That would make for a great SCW predictions title match or whatever.
A final match.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of time. There's a few weeks, so I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, when's SummerSlam again? Is that the end of...
The first weekend of August.
First weekend of August.
And I am unfortunately going to be away that weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Tough.
It's tough weekend.
Damn. Tough summer,
It's a birthday weekend. Dude, for the next 2 months, I have something going on every weekend. I have weddings, concerts, birthday. I have 3 birthday
August
things
5th.
in August. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a very busy few months.
Well, let's jump into Raw.
Let's talk about Raw.
Let's jump into
B-show.
into Monday Night Judgment Day.
Could be the C show. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I guess I heard NXT is. I mean, I
watched NXT last night. Parts of it.
I wish because like every time I see clips of Carmelo Hayes, I'm like, God, he's so like. I saw highlights of which we'll talk about it when we talk about Judgment Day stuff of the Trick Mello versus Judgment Day tag team match. Some of the stuff Carmelo, like he did this one like the Hurricane Rana thing, but he like ends it differently where he does the Hurricane Rana where he gets back up to the guy's head and basically it ends with like a bulldog almost. Crazy.
Yeah, he's so good.
Anywho,
Monday Night Judgment Day.
Finn and I have an interesting Judgment Day take, which I tweeted this, so it might be spoiled, but I have an interesting Judgment Day take. I think you'll be.
I think I saw you.
I think you and the people I think will be happy with me.
Okay.
Finn opens the show. He's alone out there. Instantly, he's talking shit about Damian. Damian Priest has been the issue with Judgment Day, and he says all this while wearing new Judgment Day merch featuring Damian Priest.
I thought it was pretty good.
It seems pretty solid. I wouldn't buy it.
No, I wouldn't, but it's cool.
It's almost like a Pops, like kind of.
Remind me of like I can't think. It's like a 4 corner. I don't know. There's like a band. There's like a logo. I can't think of it.
Beatles.
The Beatles.
Is it the Beatles?
Maybe,
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I might not. Yeah, anyways.
Rhea and Dom come out and tell Finn they should handle this internally, take it backstage, blah, blah, blah. And then Seth comes out. He has a plate of buffalo wings, which I have a question about this.
Okay.
And he taunts Dom. I guess they're going to have a rematch later. You know, we'll get to what happened, blah, blah. And then backstage, Rhea tells Damian to squash the beef with Finn. Damian kind of says, I already tried. And, you know, just showing more of the feud and blah, blah. Is a fine way to kick off Monday Night Raw. My question is buffalo sauce actually from Buffalo, New York? Is that like so they were in Buffalo, New York, and he had buffalo wings. That was the tie-in.
Never thought to look that up. Never thought to even think of that.
Because, like, it's as if, like, going to, I don't know, going to France. They had a show in France, and he has a plate of French fries, and he's like, see? Like,
yes.
Because isn't that, like, I don't think French fries originated in France.
No.
Germany, I think? I don't fucking know.
Bro, no, we can't get into history. Yeah, I can't help you there. I don't know. I mean,
let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Because that was his whole thing. He was like, I got my plate of buffalo wings, and we're in Buffalo, New York.
He's really emphasizing Buffalo, looking into the camera.
Yeah, so I don't
know. I've never.
Where did Buffalo wings originate? I mean, it would make sense. Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
At the Anchor, 1964. Fairly new.
Not a big fan of buffalo wings. I don't really like buffalo sauce.
I don't mind it. It's not my favorite.
I'm a dry rub guy.
Oh, I'm not a dry rub.
No?
I'm not a big dry rub guy.
Really?
I like a juicy. I like a lot of sauce on it.
Interesting.
I love garlic Parmesan wings.
Those
are my favorite.
My stomach just
those are my.
I haven't eaten breakfast.
Those are my favorite. I had like 20 hash browns this morning.
Might hunt down some wings.
Hey, why not? Why not?
Not a bad idea. Anywho.
All right. So yeah, buffalo wings from Buffalo.
I guess that wasn't hard to deduce. Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre defeat Imperium. Drew looks good. I put here Drew. It feels refreshing to see Drew again. He feels refreshed. He feels like he's I don't know. It's nice to see him back.
Yep.
Vince. How do you pronounce his name? Vinci.
Vinci. Giovanni Vinci.
Vinci eats the pin, gets reprimanded by Gunther, and also Kaiser is disappointed. Are they forming cracks in Imperium?
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I get it because I feel Ludwig was like those three were together originally, like NXT UK, whatever. And then when they got called up, it was just Gunther and Ludwig, and Vinci was in NXT still. Oh, and then Vinci came back at Clash of the Castle, I believe. Oh, that's when he made his official. I don't know why they separated them. Giovanni Vinci did his own like supermodel, his entrance was like freeze frame snatch, and he would like do like weird like he was posing for like a magazine or something.
Oh, so he got a character change,
complete character change, and then he got brought back. And Ludwig has always been like, I guess, Gunther's right hand.
He's
man.
great.
Like he's the one that introduces him and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess if they do this, I guess it makes sense it's Vinci, but it's
but they don't need
way too early. No, they don't. Way too early to do that.
Like. The bloodlines breaking up.
You already have cracks. They're doing groups.
Judgment.
Yeah, you don't
cracks.
need Imperium. No.
Imperium is so good together.
Yeah,
like, why would they even like?
Don't do that. Don't waste it right now. Like down the line, like when it means something for sure. But this is like no one like really is. They don't care. But
I would not care. As much as I love Ludwig, I don't really know too much about Vinci. I wouldn't want a Vinci versus Ludwig match, or I guess they do Gunther versus Vinci maybe to get him out of Imperium. Judgment Day, big Judgment Day show, show. Yep. Judgment Day's backstage. Finn is pissed at Damien. Rhea kind of acts like, makes sense, mommy, whatever, acts like the mom and says, oh, you talk it out and stop yelling and blah, blah, blah. Damien says he would never cash in on Finn. Finn wants a clean slate. He says as long as Finn gets Seth first, they're cool. Damien's like, we're cool. And then he says, hey, if you win the title or not, don't worry. I got it covered. Holds up the briefcase. And then Finn is left a little bit like...
The way he said it.
Yeah.
Because he says, if you win it or not, we got that
covered. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I break them or not. I mean, we'll talk... we'll talk about the Judgment. We're going to talk about the Judgment Day about 7 more times this episode. I don't fucking know. That's Sammy KO backstage. Speaking of fucking Judgment Day,
involved.
I promise my Judgment Day take. I have a positive Judgment Day.
You do. I know.
Take.
We have to get to the.
But we gotta get through Judgment Day to get.
We gotta grind to get there.
Sammy and KO are backstage, which I thought this was interesting. They're being interviewed and basically like, oh, how do you think your World Championship stuff is gone? And they're like, oh, like. They're like pretty good. Like we defended against Imperium, we defended against X, Y, and Z, and they're just like, we're just gonna keep defending the titles.
Yeah.
A critique of them is their title reign has maybe been a
little stale. They could have done more.
There's not
to their fault.
Imperium was solid. I don't think there was ever like a story or anything. They had
that match with Street Profits and that one time after.
They should be feuding with like Street Profits are so fucking good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, which is like fair. They're the tag team titles champions.
They eventually have to get new belts. Everyone's getting new belts with that.
Oh, I hate their belts.
I do too.
Then Rhea and Dom interrupt and are like, which this is a nice little Kevin moment. They interrupt. Kevin's fucking pissed. Like, you gotta follow the rules. Blah blah. Blah. Rhea says because they listed like we're ready to take on. They list a couple teams and then they didn't mention Judgment Day. Rhea said, "Oh, you didn't mention Judgment Day." And then Kevin was like, "Oh, that's fair. We didn't mention them, so they can. Yeah, that's justified." And then Rhea's like Judgment Day can take those titles whenever we want. Blah blah blah. Who's gonna be the team to? I don't fucking know.
The way I took that was implying that it's gonna be Rhea and Dom against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I've been saying this for weeks, and everyone's like, "No, that's stupid.
That's
never happened." That's
kind of what they were implying.
I really think they should, and we're working up to an intergender match.
I think
where kind of Rhea takes on like the China role or whatever.
Because it's whatever the tag team match is, it would have to be Dom. If it's not Dom and Rhea, it's Dom and Damien. Because Finn's facing Seth. And Damien's involved with Seth. Stuff. So yeah. Which I mean, I'm fine. I think it's. I honestly think I would really like that because it's so different.
Dude. That's so different. So sick. And of course, we want to see Rhea and Dom team. Like that's fucking perfect.
Yeah, they've been together for almost a year. Yeah,
I would love it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But that's what I got from that. It seemed because the way she was talking about it made it seem like she wanted the belt, and I guess that means that she's not going to defend her women's championship, which is whatever. But
Yeah, we get. I have some stuff about that somewhere, but Dom and Seth. Where are we? Oh yeah, so like the Seth and Dom match doesn't start. They're fighting before the bell. Balor and Priest, who seem to be on the same page, run in, attack Seth. Sammy and KO make the save, sets up a 6-man tag for later. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Ricochet. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Ricochet and Logan promo. A mess here.
I thought this was really good.
I thought
Logan did really well.
I think Logan did better than Ricochet.
I agree.
Ricochet comes out, talks to the crowd about his pride in entertaining them, and the reason I take these risks is because I want people to go home and say, I got to see Ricochet do all these flips and shit. Ricochet calls out Logan. Logan comes out and gives props to Ricochet, but also calls him reckless and unprofessional. Which I like that they're playing on, like
what he said on the podcast and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, on the podcast, and also just playing into like their kind of botched spot. Like, they're really playing into like, you know, Logan being pissed that like that was unprofessional of you, and you could have killed me.
They're working with it, so it happened. So might as well talk about it.
And then Ricochet, which I thought this was great, but the crowd didn't. Ricochet does his famous flip outside the ring. To, you know, which is like the one he did with Velveteen Dream in NXT, which was fucking amazing. They didn't nail the camera angle. The crowd did not react.
No.
Like,
I'm surprised that the crowd didn't care about this as much as I thought they would.
Even just seeing some dude do a flip outside the ring would have been like,
yeah, like, you know? I get it. I feel like Ricochet doesn't talk, like, he doesn't have a lot of time like this to talk on the mic and like get the crowd going. Yeah. People are just more like when he does the cool moves and stuff, like that's all people care about. They don't really know much about him. He's
always been that's always been a critique of Ricochet, that he's not too strong on the mic. Which like this was solid.
Logan definitely had the better, like he definitely did better on the mic.
Oh, for
Ricochet.
Sure.
And he did the flip, and then Logan was like, "That was cool." But that's something you see on TikTok.
Yes, which was like such a. I mean, it sucks for Ricochet, but it really just ripped the rug from under him.
That's what I'm saying. Anything Ricochet said, like Logan Paul was just giving it right back to him.
Logan swings at Ricochet. Ricochet ducks, kind of gets the upper hand. Logan's on the floor, but I mean this. You've been talking about this lead up for the match for a while, but yeah, I mean I'm excited for it. It's gonna be some flippy stuff.
I think it'll be a good match.
Unfortunately for Ricochet, I think Logan needs to win this.
Yeah,
he lost Money in the Bank. He's really only had his 2 wins with the Miz involved.
Yeah, I would really like to see Ricochet be like, he's a guy that does a lot for the company and hasn't been rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day I like to see him get a good
he doesn't
run
have any
something.
he doesn't have any US title.
Does
he have a US
that's
title?
It. He's US Intercontinental, because that's who Gunther beat.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
That's it though.
Yeah.
That's it. He won North American and NXT. He was, I mean, that's when he was at his best, was NXT. But kind of like Damian.
Yeah.
Gets the guy that's kind of been through it. Work towards where he went in the briefcase. Maybe one day Ricochet will. But regardless, I'm looking forward to the match. I think it'll be spotty. I think it'll be 2 high flyers that are going to make up for their botch at Money in the Bank.
I'm curious if they bring back tables into the mix. I'm curious what like the build is going to be.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be like a normal match or like a disqualification match, whatever.
Straight up ladder match would be sick.
That would be cool.
Zoe Stark. I always had an S to her name. Zoe Stark defeats Becky Lynch. Saw a match. Stark looked great. I feel like she kind of took this opportunity to really, she hasn't had a huge opportunity to showcase what she can just do in just like a singles one-on-one match.
Yeah.
She looks great. I'm all sold on Zoe Stark.
She's a really good wrestler.
She gets the roll up after a Trish little shenanigans stuff, and just solid match, builds more Trish Becky tension. I just hope Zoe doesn't kind of get overshadowed here. Because I like that she's getting the rub with Trish, but I think it's obviously building to Trish and Becky.
Right.
So I hope, like, even when Trish is done or whatever, I hope Zoe stays on the course.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Maxine Dupree graduates.
Congratulations.
I mean, this is like...
this is sports entertainment at its finest.
Yeah, it's like I appreciate... Like, Raw always has and needs, like, this over-the-top silly... thing. This is entertaining for what it is. It's just not going to take up too much time in the podcast.
No, it's not. It's a filler. It's a filler segment. It's a filler story.
It was funny. I like Maxine Dupree. She gets her jacket. Everyone's hyped. Viking Raiders come in. probably setting up a pre-show.
Six-man match.
Sure,
pre-show,
yeah, whatever sort of tag match that's going to be on the pre-show at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all we need to say.
Shayna Baszler defeats Emma, but more importantly, after the match, Ronda Rousey's music hits. Shayna kind of like, bring it on. Shayna avoids the arm bar and exits. Again,
that's another match at SummerSlam. Ronda,
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're building here.
Yeah.
We're building. This was nothing crazy, but I like Ronda versus Shayna.
Yeah,
it has story. I think the two are gonna know how to work together. Like I'm sure, like just being a tag team and being friends and MMA background.
Ronda will make her look good, and Shayna wants her to go out on a high note.
I hope this is like. Yeah, like you said, I hope this is Ronda going on her high note, and I hope this is Ronda. I could see this being Ronda's best match since her debut tag match at Mania.
Yeah, because it all fell apart after that. That's for sure.
But solid for what it is.
Cody,
just a Cody promo. Nothing
crazy.
This is like on my GM mode. Just send out Cody.
Yep. Talk to the crowd.
This is solid. He wants a rubber match against Brock. He says, I will be next in line. He just has such a fucking good promo. Like, even though this wasn't like a top Cody promo, but he's just like,
it worked.
It's solid. Just the way he talks and just like, love Cody.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be the new, like him and Roman, like face of the company. Just send him to every late night show, send him to every interview in the world. He's just the modern day John Cena.
Yeah.
Honestly,
the modern day John Cena with like a lot of classic like Hogan like good Hogan like cheesy 80s stuff.
The broken arm.
That's what I'm saying.
The superhero vibes for sure.
But yeah, I hope they get a stipulation. That'd be fun.
It's
they already had the street fight sort of thing or whatever it was.
It needs to be a barn burner match. If it's the rubber match, obviously we've heard the 2 out of 3 rumor, but I don't know.
And then hopefully Brock wins, and that leads to Brock versus Roman
challenging
at
Roman.
WrestleMania.
Yes,
yep,
exactly.
So.
That's the hope.
The Miz, The Miz defeats Ciampa in a no DQ match. Love seeing a no DQ match.
I didn't watch this match.
It's solid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like worth like going back.
I'm not going to go back and watch it,
but like it was solid. It was a fun TV no DQ match.
Mm-hmm. The Miz won, huh?
The Miz won. So Ciampa all had some good spots. Ciampa kind of knocks him over. Miz is sitting in the chair. He uses a trash can lid, which I thought was really creative. Bronson Reed comes out, takes out Ciampa, gives the Miz the easy win. So
that's kind of how Bronson Reed debuted, helping the Miz.
This is what Bronson Reed's been doing for the past 3 months.
Yeah,
really.
I don't like his involvement here. They should have kept it at Miz Ciampa.
Yeah, I don't know what this is setting. Either I guess this is setting up
Reed Ciampa,
Reed Ciampa, the Miz involvement.
I mean,
somehow.
don't get me wrong. I'm happy the Miz finally got a win for the first time in 3 years. But it's just like I feel.
And also in these two like it was a solid match. So
Ciampa just came back. I'm surprised they had him lose, but whatever.
Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green defeat the KCs, as we like to call them. Before the match, however, Liv and Raquel talking shit with Sonya and Chelsea. Rhea comes in, kind of just flaunting, just not flaunting her stuff, but just flexing, and just being like, I'm the hot shit around here, blah blah blah. Liv is kind of like, we're not scared of you, blah blah, but Raquel is like has a way more serious demeanor. They're the tag team champions, but Raquel is like, I want fucking Rhea.
Yeah.
They have a little stare down, which I thought was great. Fun build. I mean, there's a lot of stuff intertwined.
Maybe
with
they
the tag
do that
titles.
at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then I don't know what they're. I mean, they don't have a. Well, they'll probably because Sonya and Chelsea, I think now might be the number 1 contenders for the tag titles.
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
That's on Raquel and Liv. So I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is.
I've run into this situation many a times on my GM mode. You got the tag titles here, but you got double champion.
It's all over the place. It's confusing. Keep up with everyone.
My 2 things here are, 1, I love how the announcer says Chelsea Green. I don't know if you picked up on that, but she goes, she'll say, I forget who the announcer is. But
Samantha Irvine.
Is it Samantha?
Yeah,
I think it's Samantha.
I think.
And she goes, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. She says it in like a funny, it's awesome.
That's cool.
However, I don't know why Caden Carter and Katana Chance are losing. Why are they like?
You'd think
their debut was so fucking sick. They had a sick. I forget if it was one and the same, but like their match against Ronda and Shayna was great.
They're like one of the only teams that's
so
like an organic tag,
and they're
team.
an actual team.
Yeah.
Why are they not? Why are they losing?
Them and the former NXT champs that.
Island Dawn,
that the
Island
Ronda,
Fire. Dawn and Fire.
Like those two teams should be the two of the main focus points of the division.
I don't know why they're. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, back to Judgment Day.
Back to the good stuff.
Judgment Day. Defeat Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Seth.
That's a cool
Rollins.
team, honestly. KO, Sami, and Rollins.
I liked this. They had a little. We didn't talk about it, but they had a little like backstage segment where Seth was all high energy and they're all hyping each other up, and then Sami's like, "Look, we're all the champions. We're gonna win." And Seth's like, "What's the game plan?" They're all hyped up and it was a nice just face hype up team.
Yeah,
I thought this was great. A couple notes here. One note is I wish the pedigree was a little more protected than it is nowadays.
What do you mean? Like it's used. It's not like as a finisher. It's just
people kick out of Seth's pedigree, and I know like people kick out of KO's stunner. I know that like the lore is like it's not done by the person. Like the super kick, when it's not done by Shawn Michaels, it's not as devastating.
I'll tell you, the super kick has been watered down
for sure
from back in the day.
For sure.
Everyone
I personally like the super kick being pulled out of nowhere, but I feel like the pedigree, even when like Cody would tease it, it was always like a tease and a wink to Hunter.
It's like an homage kind of to them.
For sure, but I wish it was like Seth would bring it out every now and again, and it was one of the things where it's like, oh shit, he brought out the pedigree.
I mean, it was his finisher for a few years. Back in like when he was in the Authority, he couldn't do the curb stomp anymore because it was like they want kids doing it or whatever, so he started doing the pedigree, which is awful. He does not do the pedgree justice.
No, you don't like his pedigree? I think it's solid.
Compared to Triple H.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Comparatively, it's not. His 2015, 2016 pedigree run, awful. Like, but it's like, you're supposed to keep the hands up and kind of sell it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. As soon as he goes up,
he let go.
Yeah. It just doesn't look believable.
No, you're right.
But I do agree. I feel like it's kind of more of like a signature move now than it is a finisher. You know what I mean?
Especially because it's like, there's so much story with Seth using the pedigree with the Authority stuff, and he was Triple H's like first. Seth Rollins the first Triple H.
He
guy,
loved Seth more than his own son,
right? Yeah. So it's like but that's just a nitpicky thing. Dom sold. Speaking of these sort of moves, Dom sold KO's stunner like a cartoon character. I mean, Dom just gets better and better. He
does.
Dom is,
Yeah.
I get it. I know we're talking about Judgment Day. I get it. Yawning.
That's why I yawned.
A Rhea distraction leads to Judgment Day getting the win, and they're standing tall together, and Damian and Finn hug.
Yep.
So
for now,
I don't know. I wish they would just keep cracking it, because like I put here. I hope this them getting back together, and them making amends is a swerve, which I think it is.
I think it is.
But like to me, it leads into my point. This is the most entertained and the most pleasantly and welcoming entertained I've been by the Judgment Day ever.
Yeah.
Because I like this, the breaking, and I'm not just saying like, I'm not just saying the best part of Judgment Day is that they're over. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like they have this story. The cracks in it are interesting. The tension between Damian and Finn with the briefcase.
Yeah, they finally have a good story within the group, and something you can follow along with.
And then now, like they're hugging, and I get it. I'm being swerved, but I would lean more into. I don't know. I hope it's a swerve. I hope they're just not like. Judgment Day's fine. We're not doing that.
I'll tell you what. I'm fully convinced that Damian's cashing in at SummerSlam. I think the way the story is going, that their momentum is so hot right now, I don't think they can push this off.
Yeah.
I think I would like Seth Rollins to have a longer reign. I would like to see Damian hold on. I just like someone holding on to the briefcase for a long period of time. But I just think the way the momentum, the way the story is going is, I think the perfect place would be whether Finn pins Seth there, or maybe Damian pulls a Seth and makes it a triple threat match and throws himself. I know you brought that up last week or 2 weeks ago, or whenever we talked about it. I'm convinced that Damian's walking out of
that's a
SummerSlam
good,
as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Even if, like you said, especially if if Finn wins, because that's the story right there. Finn wins, he finally gets his title back. That would make the most
sense if Finn won, and
right?
Because
that can lead to rematches.
Because then it goes, I would actually kind of be shitty, because it's like Finn wins the first time he won the Universal Championship last 24 hours.
Right.
Finally wins the title back, last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's shorter
that's what
than that. And then, that sucks, but like the story you can build off of that.
Damian holds the title. They do a rematch, however many rematches you want to do, and then Finn gets the title back. That's kind of what I'm seeing
That's what I think.
But I hope, like I said, I hope because that's my favorite part of the Judgment Day is seeing this tension and this this cracks in it and this
like the
whatever.
Bloodline, they're able to drag it out. So like in the Bloodline, we've seen like swerves where it's like they're hugging and then there's low blow. Like we've seen that, but I think obviously they're two different storylines. Where the Bloodline, they can drag it out. Yeah. They can drag this one. I feel like you can't drag this out. If you have the chance to pull a trigger, pull it twice. You know what I mean?
And also they doubled down because the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day is appearing on NXT. If you haven't had too much Judgment Day on Raw,
they were on Tuesday, the next day.
Yeah. Which I'm sure they had. Like I said, the highlight seems sick. Trick Mello is sick. But they seem to stand. I mean, you watched it. Did you see that?
They stood tall at the end.
Yeah, they just stand tall, clean, right?
Yep.
So like, I get it. They're trying to be they're the dominant thing.
I think they showed the crack to now it's like, oh, we're together, like we're a full group, and then the swerve's going to come again. That's what I think.
I hope so. I really, really hope. Which I think it seems like it's building up to it, but
if not, I'd be confused. I would be like, I don't know how long they're going to wait to do this.
So I kind of already touched on it, but that was my Judgment Day note of like, I guess I already said my note is that this was the most I've been entertained by them. I liked this episode, even though this was probably one of the most Judgment Day filled Raws ever.
Oh, it probably was.
You know, but I didn't mind it because they had throughout the whole show, they had one story, one purpose. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They weren't in everything. There wasn't random matches where, okay, now when Damian or Dom are going to face whoever the fuck for some reason. Right. They had a purpose. It all revolves around the World Heavyweight Champion. And even like, I'm not even counting this because like Rhea had her solo stuff with Raquel, which is great and I love that.
Yeah,
so that's not even
that's different.
That's a separate thing. Yeah. I think Rhea's solo stuff is so separate from Judgment Day anyway. But everything had a purpose. And yeah, which is why I liked it, and it's why I'm so like, oh, please keep doing the cracks, keep doing the cracks, because it's like that's
good storytelling. Big week for factions. Bloodline took over SmackDown. Judgment Day took over Raw. And NXT.
Raw. I think a big part of this why they're pushing the Judgment Day, and this is now just kind of like thinking about like business and whatever, is like they see how good SmackDown's doing with this like big faction story or whatever. That Raw is like we need something on there to let's crack the Judgment Day.
It ain't the Bloodline, but it
is not the Bloodline at all. But that is our shows.
That is our show.
Like I said, Dynamite is on tonight. To be honest, when I was writing this is 3 pages of notes. We did bled on to a 4th page of notes.
Jeez.
Which is like, I was like, we're gonna go for an hour 45, which it is hot in here, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
We'll check the notes and we can go for a little bit, but I'm about ready to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking to see if we missed anything.
Early day, 12:30. I'm gonna have lunch.
Well, we did start. Oh,
we started.
We started like almost an hour early.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of going back. These are just the official stats.
Oh, yeah.
The Bloodline's last 2 weeks, business-wise, closed out the highest-grossing SmackDown of all time. That was in London. Mm-hmm. Main evented highest-grossing WWE arena event/venue merch of all time at Money in the Bank in London. Over 500 million social views captured from Money in the Bank alone. Open and closed the highest-grossing SmackDown of all time in the U.S. in a sold-out Madison Square Garden. A recent memory high of 3+ million viewers for the Fallout segment from Money in the Bank on said SmackDown show.
They're killing it.
That's why they don't want this to end, bro. The business perspective.
I know.
That's a whole other thing, too.
That's such a...
I understand you don't want to think about that, but like it's so true. Like if you have this going, bro, and you're able to sell merch and sell things out, like you gotta...
Because they're gonna...
And another thing, current merchandise business in WWE reportedly has surpassed any time or era in company history.
Because they're gonna... After this Bloodline story, viewership is gonna decrease. And obviously they don't want that. But that's like that's the balance of art and telling stories versus keeping the boss happy.
They know what they got to do to have good business. You just have to have good storyline. And obviously, it ain't
crazy
going to be at this level, but that's what happens.
But with that said, I have faith. Like I got good faith that after the Bloodline story, whatever, because I feel like now they're like, oh, that fucking worked. Let's do another.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is a good benchmark. It's like, okay, now we know if we do something along these lines, this is how well it's going to go. So now you can kind of you can work with that. It's like we can take it down a notch and it'll still do really, really well. Yeah. Crazy. Wow. But yeah, that's all I found. Unless you have anything else.
No, that is all I have.
We have Blood and Guts 1 week. Well, from today, but 6 days from when this episode comes out.
I'm very excited. Crazy. We don't know any information. They haven't sent us any information.
Yeah, should we show up, get the ticket, and then
yes.
And then that's,
I hope we get a lanyard, like a media pass lanyard.
Sick.
I hope
that would be
so.
really cool.
Send me an Instagram post.
Hang it up right there.
Yeah, honestly,
that would
need something else for the wall.
Be cool.
Well,
yeah,
we're gonna have we'll vlog it. We'll be filming stuff on our phones, and you'll hear about that. Well, actually, what's nice is, because I mean, we'll figure out scheduling and all that, but I gotta imagine we're still gonna film that Thursday after. Yeah. Which is gonna be tough. We're gonna be sleepy boys, but it's gonna be nice to like 12 hours after it, talk on the pod.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our pod up. Hey, next week we didn't get any AEW this week. You're gonna get a lot of it next week. So there you go.
So spoiler: next week's the title of next week's episode is gonna be. We got AEW media pass.
We went to Blood and Guts.
Yeah, some shit like that. Or that might be the vlog title.
Yeah.
And then I gotta make them different somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Title of this one is gonna be Jey Uso is the one to dethrone Roman Reigns.
There you go.
Hot take.
And if you made it this far, put in the comments section. My name is Earl.
My name is Earl. God, some of the episodes do not hold up. You know what I mean? In terms of today's world, but damn, My Name Is Earl is so fucking good.
It's a classic. Bro. It's an iconic show. I haven't seen it in a long time.
You should. You would fuck with My Name Is Earl, bro. He's crossing off I got this. It's all about karma. He's got to cross off the names and shit. It's so good.
It's been a very long time. Maybe I'll start.
Maybe we'll do a My Name Is Earl watch along podcast.
New podcast.
My Name Is Earl pod. My Name Is Podcast.
I'll tell you what. There ain't a lot of. I don't think there's any podcasts like that.
Look it up. My Name Is Earl podcast.
I would be so shocked.
The My Name Is Earl podcast. Yeah, it seems like it's just like dudes.
It's probably either the people from My Name Is Earl or the biggest super fans in the world.
I think they only made it one episode.
Tough.
Or if any. Yeah, just look at their pictures is Jason Lee. That's awesome. All right, anyway.
All right.
Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. If you're watching this far, you already subscribed, but we appreciate it. Tell a friend. You know what? We don't say that anymore. Tell a friend about the pod. We appreciate you. Until next time, we'll see you all week. We got quizzes all week.
Oh yeah. Maybe not the best ones, but we got quizzes.
Well, I think we didn't perform the best. They're entertaining.
They're good quizzes. It's just you'll see them.
The video coming out today, which now we're just talking about the past, but
the
reacting to. I'm excited.
I really hope it does well.
I hope it does well too. It's already got 25 comments. Hasn't even come out.
Please, guys,
that's such a nice one to do because we're obviously this is for the people listening to this. At least you guys deserve to hear the inside scoop of what we're trying to figure out with the channel, whatever. We need to fill that. We don't want to do 3 quizzes a week.
We want quizzes are awesome, and obviously they're the best performing videos. But we want to make the quizzes valuable. We don't want to be swapping a belt, 3 times a week. We ideally 1 quiz a week would be sick to make it.
That exclusive. Would be ideal.
But we're trying to figure out different video ideas to kind of fill the gap, have a new series. So yeah, hopefully you guys like it, comment, all that stuff.
It'd be nice to have maybe this Monday. Monday is always it goes bracket, comments, tier list, bracket, something like that. So we're figuring it out.
We're figuring it out.
Obviously last Monday we did the stipulations bracket, which that did solid.
Well.
That did solid.
Did okay.
It did solid with the core audience. It didn't the quizzes get extended out there.
Yeah, 1,000%.
But I think reacting to your hot wrestling, I think that's I think the thumbnail is there.
And we picked the fans' responses and stuff.
I hope that does well because I want to keep doing it. And that's such an easy one. You just every month or whatever, you post it on Twitter and people give their hot takes, and then it's always going to be different too. Anyway, my name is Earl. If you made it this far, appreciate it again. You can follow us on everything. I put up the cards at this point. You know. Are you on? This is like the last thing. So it's just like a world thing. You what?
I'm not on Threads.
Threads,
not
bro.
On
you
Threads.
gotta get threading, bro.
When I was with my girlfriend, we were talking about it, and she signed up for it, like on Instagram, whatever, and then she deactivated her account like 2 minutes later. She goes, "I can't do this."
You gotta get threading, bro.
I don't. I
People are like, "Is there gonna be a Stache Club Threads account?" Probably not.
Bro, I gotta. I'm gonna give it a while to see if it lasts.
It's
or not.
like I don't even know what to think.
I don't think I'd ever use it. That's another social media platform I have to keep up with.
Yeah, it's like funny for the bit. Like I sent off a few threads. I was threading earlier. I was threading myself off earlier. But it's just like a Twitter, but
they don't. That's why
they got
Zuckerberg's getting sued because
Yeah.
they just copied the coding for Twitter.
And
it made it look like the Instagram, like the like and the comment features.
Yeah, and we already have the audience on Twitter.
I can't do it. I can't keep up with another.
I'll be hey, believe me, I'm gonna be threading.
If there's one thing
about me, I'm gonna be threading.
I mean, it has like 100 million people on it. So
I already have almost like 1,000 followers on
ridiculous.
it. But it's mostly it's like it's a tweaked number. So like you can just follow people from your Instagram.
That's why I kind of figure.
Yeah.
It's like, like your friend Raspy Taylor joined Threads, like follow, whatever.
That's all it is. Or like even when you first sign up, there's a button to hit follow everyone I follow on Instagram. Because there's like what's crazy about it is like it pre-makes you a profile. So you have a profile.
Right. Yeah.
You just have to like activate it. Because you can follow people who haven't activated their account yet. And then once they activate it, then it like, triggers like the follow or whatever. Because like when I signed up for mine, there was like 100 follows that I had to confirm because people signed up for it for me. That, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's a whole, it's strange.
I'm going to stay away from it from now.
Like you said, it is another social media that I don't need to be I'm already on social media too much. I'm already staring at Instagram and Twitter all day that I already need to curb. Adding something to that isn't going to help me not be on it,
Yeah, I need to find ways to get off my phone, not stay on it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, anyway, with that said, this is the actual goodbye.
My name is Earl.
We will see you all week. Goodbye.
Peace.